So let's take a look at the rest of this. Yeah, pretty much that was the end of the day right there. There's a little bit of a move right here, came down, and then we ended up down here. So, I mean, that's one of those you could have taken a debit spread right there and just held it for cash settle, and you'd have made some money on that. That's about 5 points right there. That was like an 83 and a half down to it closed at 76. So that was about what, 5.6 points, something like that. So, there was a little bit of money right there if you would have, taken a debit spread and let it dangle. We probably gotten a little nervous right here because anything can happen at the end of the day. And this is not, that would be like the dangling debit spread thing right there. If you had, if you just took a debit spread order, but you were asking about the dangling debit spread. That would be one of those where if you say, like, if you took this move here and you got, let's say like, let me draw, let's see, say if we took, I'm going to draw this around a little bit here. All right, I'm going to edit that. But what I'm going to do is 69.70. 69.70. I'm just going to make me a 10-point box here. And we're going to drag it around. And that would be 69.60. Oh, shoot. Not that. 69.60. Okay, so that's 10 points right there. All right, so that's our 10-point box. And if we would have, say, like we bought this one right here. We'll say we bought it on the pullback here. We got the pullback on this little red candle here, and then we took it here. Whenever we took this out, we would have converted somewhere in here. But if you would have bought, say, like converted, and you had an extra debit spread, so like you did, and that would have been what? It's like that. That was the. Let me see if we can draw this. That's right around 65. So that would have been like 69. 69. I think 65. So we take the 60. That's right around the 65s right there. So let's just say we take the 65, 70, and then we convert it with the 70, 75. So like we did one of those. If we did, so like if we bought two 65, 70 debit spreads, and we converted one of them, then we would still have, and we just held it. And we're just going to say we're going to let it run until it tells us to get out. So that would be a way that you could do that. I mean, follow your yellow bar, yellow or level or yellow. Or you could, if it doesn't fall below, if it doesn't fall below down here, it really never goes out of the money. If it doesn't drop below 65, and you could just, as long as it stays in there, you can just hang on to it, and then let it settle at the end of the day. So, and if you would have, that would have been worth, if you would have kept one of these open here, if you would have done this, that would have been the width of the spread is $500, right? So let's write $500 right there because it did settle. We settled at 77, so we settled over here at 69.77.27, right? So we're above this 75. We settled out here, so we're above our center strike right here. Actually, and you're actually what on that? You're $7.20 above that, right? So you would have actually, depending on what you paid for it, you might have paid, say you paid $2 for it. I'm just picking a number here. Since it settled above that, you get the full value, 500, but you got to subtract what you paid for it. So if you paid $200 for it, then you would have gotten $300 on that debit spread if you let it dangle to the end of the day. So that's kind of an example of how you could do the dangling debit spread. You never know what's going to happen though. On a day where price is up and down and up and down like that, it may not work out that you can keep it all day long, because it could, instead of just walking up like this, it could have done this, come down here, and then, and then at the end of the day, it could have walked back up. You never know what it's going to do. So, you just have to have a plan. If you're going to do that, you can let one dangle. And then if it, like I was saying, if it gets below your entry point right here, or your short call, your low call, you could sell it, because if you bought it below, you should still be in profit right here, somewhat in profit, maybe not a lot. You could do that. Or if it breaks the short call, like that, then you could look at going ahead and just converting it. Or if it starts, if it's up here and it starts coming back and it's still in profit, then before it hits your short call, you could just go ahead and convert it. Take your profit while you're up here, or let it go to break even. If you think it might bounce back up, you could do that too. So, several things that you could do. The one thing that you don't want to do is you definitely don't want to let it start falling down like this. So if you're going to do the dangling debit spread on an up move while it's moving up, you still got to keep an eye on it, because if it starts moving back, you don't want to run the risk of letting it go negative with you and losing money on it.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.